what do you think you can do or your committee can do to encourage the women in our community to be more physically active?
To address your question, we have already planned a mass meeting for everybody, sports enthusiasts, fans, everybody that wants to benefit from sports, to come and give us a suggestion so that we can be able to meet those kind of requirements. But on the other hand, we are not leaving any particular gender out of this because we thought that the sporting body of the OLM is supposed to be the overseer of all for the welfare and the well-being of everybody, so we cannot restrict that to soccer. Yeah, I mean, I play soccer, but I respect other sports. With the photographer over there, he and I used to be personal trainer at the gym, and so those are things we try to bring into play once more. We also intend to have a tournament soon with table tennis, badminton, volleyball, all those kind of things, so that people will be able to participate from all sets. Not kind of football. Kickball too is going to be something that in fact we intend to purchase a kickball jersey to give the women opportunity to participate for.
Thank you. I will save my next question, and I will recognize Ms. Parker. Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, you?
Okay, thank you. You know, I'm impressed that, you know, with your resume and all of that, the experience you have, and I heard you talk about starting a soccer clinic, right, or sporting clinic or something for young kids.
Yeah, academy.
Yeah, academy, there you go, soccer academy. And I'm kind of excited about that, but because when, for the last 2 summers, in 2006 and 2007, we have been running a kickball, you know, tournament for girls. And one of the things that kind of broke my heart mainly was the little boys that would gather around and, you know, ask, Anthony, you got something for us, you know, to do? And they just didn't have anything, no activities. I mean, there were lots of activities going on in different areas, but those particular kids. My question here would be, how do you, considering the many librarians we have in this community, we have 20, 30,000 dollars. I mean, counting of us, the numbers is all over, and we have maybe half of those are kids. How would you make sure that all of these kids are involved? Because I heard you saying something that OLM would be that overseer and all of that, and you can't do it all by yourself. So how would you? What kind of strategy, as the sporting chair, would you have put in place to make sure that all of these kids are reached?
Very good question. I just spoke with Josh Harris, who is another soccer guru in the community, a sporting guru in the community. And my request to him was if his organization, which is a non-governmental organization called ROSA, could spearhead the American Youth Soccer Association program. Because the program is such that we have to work with the parents, and we have to work with other people in the community, not just the kids directly. So to be able to bring that academy about, or we are not going to be coming to OLM for every little thing. So I decided to start meeting with people, other organizations, to see how we can have some distribution of labor. Because I know that being a chairperson, I would not be able to stand there and say, Coach, you 30,000 people that we have, but at least making use of mine or connection with other people.
Team for a football team, a basketball team, and a kickball team. But some of the plans so that it will stand up, our administration will lead, our team will still remain, will still be active, it will still be active, it will still be functional in the community. What are some of the plans
as we speak,
establish a standard team for the community?
Yeah, as we speak, we are in a process with other organizing bodies from out of state. I mean, to be precise, with the national body, the ULA. They're supposed to be hosting this tournament, and so we already started working with other bodies, all the different teams in the community, so that we can come up with a national team, a national soccer team, and a national basketball team, a national kickball team. And I spoke with the president also, and he told us to include that in our budget, the budget that we sent to the finance committee. We were able to include jerseys for a standard team, soccer team, basketball team, and a kickball team, so that we can be able to play not only internally, but go out there and see how we can meet our other Liberian folks around the country, and then also try to sell the image of Minnesota out there. So the national team is paramount in our plan, and just to let you know, this is something that we have been doing, but we have never had support before. And one of the reasons why some of us have come up to take on this role, because we know that our kids in the community put a lot of time into the game and other games per se, but we haven't had that support in the past. We have played Minnesota State team, both at the first level and the second level, and we have the trophy in our possession as we speak. And so I don't see why we can't have our own national team or something. So it's not a Liberian national team per se, but it's a
OLM national team.
OLM national team.
Thank you. Mr. Parker?
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Gray. Mr. Brown, welcome and thank you very much. I'm very impressed about your, going through your resume and, your experience and background is, phenomenal. I can see that the education team were here and we spoke with them. It is good that spokes brings all of us together, but we have all the problems in the community, and some of those problems, the care of the problem is the youth. We said Liberia just experienced 14 years of war, and most of the kids coming today, I'm saying kids, but they are adult now. They may have the opportunity to go to school in Liberia, but they are here. They either had to go to GED or they just, they just dead. And these are kids that will be part of your sporting activity. Do you have any plan to liaise with the education committee? The outlay, a very beautiful plan how they will identify the kids and maybe help them out. Do you have any plan to liaise with the education committee?
That's a very good question.
Kids so that they can get the help they need to become successful both on the sporting arena and both in the community?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I will tell you that when I came here 6 years ago, I did not come here to live here. When I got here, my family, because of family reason, I had to stay, and that was my 7th time here, and I had to stay. But one of the things that gave me solace was sports. As you rightly said, most of the kids come from refugee camps and come from other walks of life that have hindered their own survival in this place that we live. But I went on the soccer field this day. Jerome Chetty came to me and said, I've been knowing you ever since from Liberia. Why can't you help us put the beginning together? The kids are all going astray. And I saw a reason to help, because knowing where the kids came from and the background we all come from, and I'd rather put time into that. Unity in the community too, because people make promises and then they fall back on those promises. I know that the first year as a coach in the community, it was George Wool's administration, and I was able to put the boys together, and we played some other African groups and all of that, won the trophy. We know that OLM doesn't have money, but I make promises if you're not going to be able to stand up to it. And a lot of the time, people come who want your boys to play for this, want people to play for that, and they fall right back to us who are leaders who try to convince the guys to come and play, simply because people don't meet the demands and all that kind of thing. But your question, or to answer your question specifically, our committee intend to take over the county meet, because other people have been handling the county meet simply because OLM have been complaining about funds, lack of funds and all of that. But we because I know I was approached by another group that came to me and said, oh, look, we want to have the county meet. I said, no, this is an OLM situation. So any other tournament, you can host it, but county meet, the regular league that we intend to, should be the property of OLM. That's right. So that we can know how to be directly from there. And to answer your question, yes, we are going to go to the. In the past, I've been part of county meet organizations and all of that, and we have written the various counties, but it can be so disheartening to know that people will not come forth to identify with these functions. The president that can bear me up, one of the past county leads, he has to stand up to pay for Nema County, simply because he's from Nema County. You know, we really need the involvement of all the community, the county heads, so that we can have this far more structured than how it has been in the past. You know, because people can't say, oh, I want to play for the county because somebody say, okay, I got money, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it has not been structurally laid out. So, yeah, we intend to do that, and we are going to work in that vein so that OLM can have the county meet and have the regular league.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?
I want to do a follow-up. Yeah. That is, regarding to the same county meet, I know that most of the time it's scheduled for July 26th. Is there something now in place? Because it's like most time we try to do these things in last minute time, and sometimes we get these problems why county organizations are not, because most of them are pretty much minimal in size. So if you don't contact them early, they're going to pretty much play a lackadaisical role and say, I don't really care what's going on. So do you have any plans from now to, let's say in June, before July 26th, that these people will be contacted and you'll be able to have multitude of meetings? Do you have anything laid out?
No, you guys, everybody prays in my resume is like, when I talk, they're like, but I don't want it to look like that, but I will tell you that my chairman is over there, he oversees my committee. Now I just found out that the honorable over there too is also overseeing the committee at a higher level. And so...
for the confirmation hearing. But it could be,
No, it will be. I would like for her to remain in that position. Yeah, but I have shown...
It just happened.
I have shown my chairman over there a yearly schedule.
Okay.
A yearly schedule that I'm not going to. We met, including him, we came up with a yearly schedule, and the county meeting is part of that schedule. We already, in fact, we are working on getting Amara, since he has always been the one hosting the county meeting for OLM. We want to open this stuff up not only to people who are in Keppel Camp.
That's right.
So I called Amara, talked to him, he myself is supposed to be meeting, and he's supposed to be the one taking care of that county meet for me. But on the other hand, the schedule business that I'm telling you about, I'm not going to say, well, because we met as a committee and came up with a schedule, that would be written in stone. And that is why we are trying to invite people to this mass meeting so that people can give us their suggestions and their ideas so that we can, but we're going to present our schedule to them, and then based on what they come up with, we can revisit the schedule and come authenticated to what we wanted to do for a year.
Thank you.
Have we exhausted all of our questions from this healthy thing, I think, for our community? And I do stress that we need to get the women involved in it. So I wish that your committee can do more to get the women, and I'm saying women, I'm not saying young adults, and I'm thinking that we have older women in this community that can participate in activities like a walk. It's been on my mind for us to do like a community walk, some kind of health walk, something like that is my thought, but I'm thinking I can sell that to your committee to take that initiative, because that's something I really think will work if we had an annual walk in our community, walk for health, walk for something in our community, because that's an activity that more people can get engaged in. You don't need special training to wake up in the morning and participate in some kind of walk activity.
Well, I just want to say thank you. I've long been in this community, and this is my first time. I've worked with OLM in the past, but just doing ad hoc work for OLM. This is my very first time being a part of it to the teeth. And I just want to commend you guys for being so professional, very professional, because I haven't seen, I don't know if they have been doing this, but I haven't seen it. And when I walked in this room, I was just telling Judge over there that I was intimidated because I saw seriousness in this business. And once seriousness is somewhere, I will admonish that you guys keep it up, because once you are serious, we will remain serious. And thank you again.
Thank you. You will be hearing from the board.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll find some interesting.
And so it was not an error on the part of the president and his executive who have thought of putting me to the position. And so I come to let you know that, and to kind of endorse me, if you will, you see, to be able to do a good piece of job that we've started 2 years ago. Thank you very much.
I left something out. Each board member have the opportunity to ask a question to you. So you should be in readiness to do that. I know you are ready already. Okay, looking at the immigration issue in this community, it's very sensitive. It's worrisome. Okay, as a nominee, what are some of the plans do you have on hand to make our thoughts of citizens in this community to be a big relief when it comes to their status?
Thank you very much, Honorable Bigbo. My appointment is almost like a continuation of what I've started 2 years ago. And so even before Christmas of last year, I've been having a series of meetings with our partners, those who've been very instrumental in kind of pushing our agenda for the relief forward. To be specific, the JCA and I have met on the 22nd of December, and they told me that what they started they want to complete, because we talk about next steps. Now that the first phase we did not go through, except that it started as far as the deferred enforcement departure. And so we've been having a series of meetings this time around to collaborate with other organizations, with the American public, because at least we've galvanized ourselves. We are aware, we made a lot of other people aware, and so we are working on plans to even make another trip to Washington, D.C. And besides that, we can begin to focus on how we can involve the whole Liberian immigrant community to be a part of this by delivering services, so that they can be aware of the immigration lawyers and what they can do, and when to go to immigration lawyer and when not to go to immigration lawyer. At the end of the day, we hope to be achieving something fruitful. So far, we have not, as a committee, met to put this plan on paper. But these are some of the little activities we've been involved in, and we know they are all going to be for the benefit of the Liberian community.
Follow up, please. Since your nomination to this position, have you ever put some documentation into place for the new administration to look into it to see how we can move forward with the immigration problem?
When I was appointed, I was asked by the president to select people who, in his view, think will be willing to work with me, and I was able to scout for few of the people. But my attempt to have a meeting that will include every one of them has not been very fruitful. But notwithstanding, we have our old plans, which really have not been realized, and some of the plans that we have that can still be very effective that have not been realized, but we have to meet as a group to agree on most of those specific items in our plan before it comes to the board for their review and to the executive for their review and approval.
Yeah. So what the yardstick you are using now to enable you to have the group be put together and you guys should be so effective to do this special job for our people?
I've talked to the president to consult even the board and every member of his executive, because I alone cannot really kind of evaluate the seriousness of any individual in our community with respect to this particular work, since it's voluntary in nature. And so some of the points we jotted down is to make sure that the Liberian Minister Association are fully involved, because the membership of all of their institutions are, let's say 90% of them are affected, to make sure that our business community are involved. And so that means we're going to have coordinators. We will not have a very small group, which if 1 or 2 persons is missing from a meeting, you can't have a quorum to even reach decisions that will impact the work of the committee. So all of these things are the kind of little items we have jotted down to make as a proposal to say, no, this is what we need to be as effective as possible. Because we have too many goodwill persons in the institution, let's say institutions and personalities in our community, Americans, organizations and what have you that are willing, but they will want to see a good number of Liberians for whom they are fighting be a part of any project that is intended to bring relief to our people with respect to immigration.
Yeah,